Tales of Mortal Peril and Suspense is a one-man show which will be staged tomorrow evening. Wallace McDougall, an actor from the UK, will be performing short stories by Edgar Allan Poe and others. As from 8 p.m, tickets will be sold at the door.
I enjoy characters, and these stories have three distinct personalities that I try to interpret. So the aim of the game is to present an audience with three people, as it were, three actors. But of course it's only me.
And if you could very briefly just tell us what these three short stories are about.
The first story is a classic by Hector Munro about a small boy who has an independent mind and achieves where his elders and betters perhaps don't. The second is a rip-roaring story about a man who comes across a leopard in the bush. And the third one is a slow descent into the consequences of one's actions and how it impacts on your mind.
Now you'll be performing here at the Saccarello coffee shop. There'll be that close proximity with the audience. What will that be like? I mean, you've performed all over the world, really.
All kinds of venues, and some of them have been small, intimate venues like this one. It's not something new to me, this type of venue and this kind of proximity with the audience, and I quite enjoy it, particularly with this kind of performance, because you do have to hear every word. Well, I like the audience to hear every word that I'm saying.
And tapping into these characters that you're going to be acting, it's essentially going to be you up there by yourself. So do you still get nervous? What inspires you? What
really inspires me to get up and perform is, as you can imagine, after a period of rehearsal, you know exactly what you're doing. So when I'm on stage, it's the only time I ever know exactly what I'm doing. So, of course, I enjoy it.
And this is the first time, I believe, that you'll be performing in Gibraltar. First time you've been to Gibraltar. What do you make of the rock then?
Those holes in the mountain are just unbelievable. I never knew any of this stuff was here. The people I've met have been very nice, and so many people have said they're going to come. I'm really looking forward to it. Perhaps I'll have a chance to meet some of them personally after I've done the show.
And if anyone who's watching this or will come to the show tomorrow and is inspired, what advice would you give to them if they want to take on a one-man production like this?
Well, I would imagine the only thing that would cause them to do it is if they enjoyed it, if they enjoyed the response they get from other people and the stories themselves. Frankly, it is the stories. They are fantastic stories, and I feel like a bit of a fraud because the enjoyment in them and what the audience is going to get out of them is absolutely coming from the text. So I enjoy pretending to myself that it's me that they're enjoying. And I think you need to know, I would say to anybody who was going to do it, to give the writers their due and understand that if everybody says it's a fantastic story, that they're not taking anything away from your performance, but you can't get away from the fact that the writing is what it's all about.
Just before we go tonight, a reminder of the stories making the news. During his visit to the Círculo del Liceo Club in Barcelona, the Chief Minister said he vowed to redress the lack of awareness in Spain of Gibraltar's situation.